Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Okay, so I did that thing that I said I was going to do where I would reset the microphone. Actually, what I had to do was download the latest version of the software. So I'm not used to doing that with a microphone. I'm kind of used to just plugging it in and it works. But apparently, with this Shure microphone, is high end, um, you have to do that. So it is what it is. I just have to make sure that my next move is to check the software. So if that happens again, well, everybody has one job to do. You say, "Hey, did you check the software update for your microphone?" And then I go, "Uh." My shoulders are going to go up just like Miss Seeley. Well, anyway, it's nothing I can do while I'm on air, so I have to make sure I do it as soon as I get done. And well, anyway, that software update was available since October 4th, and I got to find some kind of way to get a notification because they don't give you a notification as far as I know. So if that was the case, then I would have done it October the 5th. So, anyway, that's enough of all of that. Who shot John? Let's get on with it, shall we? Aha, there we go. Let's see. Also uploaded a video earlier. I hope you had a chance to watch it. It was about Harry's. Um, they said that Harry and Prince Cecil, Prince Harry and Prince Cecil, they have impacted the lives of some 80,000 people. 80,000 young people, their lives have been affected because of their fundraising and charity and all of the organization that goes with it. Now, that is quite impactful. 80,000 people. So, just goes to show that universal service goes a long way. Okay. Now, where are we? Again, it is Black History Month in the United Kingdom. It's a good time to educate yourself. And of course, the Royals in Australia. I'm going to have so much fun with it. This is going to be like the most fun I've had since Willie Leaks went to New York City. Oh, I nearly bust a gut for that one. So can't wait. By the way, I spoke to Jerry White today. She's having good days and bad days, but either way, she's listening in, and she said she is so proud to be a part of this community. And yeah, I'm. It is very much a community, and it's a very strong community. And for a lot of us, I'm sure that we're not so young, most of us, probably not exactly what we were expecting at this point in our lives, but yet we're here. So it's a blessing, and I'm here for it. Okay, who was first? Helen Marmon, thank you so much for being first. Let's see. Hi, Bunny Rose, Kathy G, Vivian G, Maggie, Paula Girl, Lydia Washington, Amelia Rodriguez, Lucy Highland, Vinnie Blair. Let's see. Jadida, is it Niru? Let's see. Lady T. Okay. Martine. Church Nelly, you've come too. I mean, you're up. You haven't lost your buzz, have you? Anyway, we're glad you're here. You know, I don't know who. I forget. Hey, Legs. I keep forgetting the name of the person who bought this cup. The thermal cup. But I just want you to know that I love this cup and it is by my side every day. I've traveled with this cup. You have no idea how many thousands of miles I have covered with this cup. So thank you. And I'm drinking so much water. Okay. Australia Republicans are embarrassing themselves over King Charles' visit. Um, that's an interesting way to put it. Now, this is from the Spectator, which of course is a conservative rag, um, consistent with the low key visit and limited opportunities to meet the public, known as walkabouts, until Australian politicians' correctness kicked in for this tour. There simply won't be that sort of mass enthusiasm. Um, they have no one to blame but themselves. Lisa, that's right. Lisa purchased the cup. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Again, it's the gift that every day it gives again and again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa, for this. Can you hear the ice? I go to bed, I wake up, there's still ice in the cup. But I'm very careful to clean it with vinegar. I submerge it in part vinegar, part water, and just let it sit to kill all the germs that I have collected over the week of using this cup. Otherwise, I just kind of rinse and go. But yes, they have no one to blame but themselves. Um, well, I won't revisit all of the details of how we got here, but I'm just amazed that they're playing victim. They love to say that other members of the family are the woe is me and all of that kind of stuff, but these are the real victims. They have inflicted so much harm. And so, this is why I'm always shocked when they say Harry and Meghan need to apologize. When does Charles apologize to his son for the pain that he has caused? Has he ever done that? Will he do it privately? Will he do it publicly? If he won't do it or he can't do it, then do better. All he needs to do is to call off the dogs. No, not that dog. He needs to call off the dogs. He needs to um, deal with his courtiers. You know, if you're a king, act like one. And he needs to deal with the tabloid media. In other words, the monsters that he has created. He needs to um, he needs to deal with them. I won't say what he needs to do with them exactly, but he needs to deal with them. How much further will you go? How many more times will you find yourself humiliated, you and your mistress, wife, before you realize it's your fault and the world are sick of you? I mean, just sick. Do you hear me? Sick. We're sick of you. Beverly says they aren't embarrassing themselves. They're just right minded people who have brains and don't want to be bending to these grifters. Here, here. Thank you, Beverly. Here, here. That is very wise words. They do not want to bend to these grifters. Yeah, I will not do it. Just like, yeah, the no apologies. Yep. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't expect he would ever do that, especially not publicly. But it's never too late to do better. It has to be something that the Sussexes approve of and that they can live with. It won't be easy for, people who have been supporting the Sussexes, but the long-term security and peace of mind for Harry and Meghan is more important than anything that I can think of. You know what I'm saying? It's not about me. It's about their security first and foremost, and then of course their happiness. It's not safe. It's not safe. This may as well call it a cold war, like between Russia and the United States. There's no obvious weapons being used, but yet damage is being done. So it is like a cold war. And I just believe that it is not conducive to the long term security for the Sussex family. And that's why I get a little frustrated when I hear people say, oh, they don't need them. Well, not that, they don't need them, but um, it doesn't matter what they do over there because they're not over there anymore. The desperation, you really have to be aware of desperation. You have to protect yourself from someone else's desperation, because they used to say a desperate man would grab the end of a sword if he thought it would keep him from drowning. And right now, that institution is sinking and they're desperate. And that makes me nervous about them. So I don't think that you can casually dismiss a very powerful institution like that. You can't just dismiss them. You have to keep an eye on them. So, what are you agreeing to, Church Nelly? What agreement? Are we agreeing about something I don't know about? Discard the royal family out of their life. It has been too much gaslighting and too much hatred. Yeah, but you got to keep an eye on it. You have to know the ways of your enemy. And as long as there is hostility being thrown their way, you can't turn a blind eye to him. Harry's a soldier. He knows better. You cannot completely dismiss them. You have to keep an eye on them because, well, it is a cult by all but name only. It is a cult, and cults are dangerous. That's why on January the 6th, there was frantic phone calls around the government of the United States, especially to the military, warning people not to do anything stupid. Now, that is something, January the 6th is something I never thought I would live to see, but yet it happened. So you have to be aware of your enemies. Yeah, you have to. That's just my opinion. You have to be aware of your enemies. Can't just dismiss them. Yeah, the thing about, oh, will they come back? They can't come back. They have burned all their bridges. Oh God, if I never hear that again, it'll be too soon. And as far as I'm concerned, that is abusive. That is abusive because it is setting up an expectation which is impossible. And there are people that don't know better. And one of the more disturbing things that I recall is, do you remember the video that I play sometimes when Meghan meets Dorothy Parker, and Harry and Meghan are doing a walkabout. Meghan's obviously pregnant, and the crowd is very warm and friendly, but Meghan said that while she was shaking hands, someone said to her, "You really need to call your father." That is dangerous. That is dangerous. Not necessarily that individual, but as Harry said, all it takes is for one person, and that's the danger. So um, mm, this needs to be resolved, and I'm glad that Harry and Meghan or whoever on their behalf push back about the um the evil boss, the bully boss thing that the Hollywood Reporter had. I knew that that one was really bad when it came out. I knew that was bad. Um, and I'm glad they pushed back. But it's got to be some strategy, something long term that will, at the very least, address things as in order of importance, and depending on the level of importance or the severity, certain things need to be addressed. Just like Beyonce and Jay-Z, they had hoghead Pierce Morgan apologize. It's one thing when it's limited to um, social media or something like that. But Pierce Morgan is like in between mainstream and a streamer, right? He's kind of in between. They took the entire television network, what little of it was, and they put it on YouTube. That's why I say it's like a bridge. And so it's one thing when that person goes on a podcast and says all of those wacky things, but it's a whole nother thing when they sit there with someone who is viewed as a legitimate broadcaster, journalist, then it gives legitimacy to the lunacy. So I don't know if I'm explaining myself clear, but I just think it's important to be aware of what that institution is doing because it is a powerful institution. They have managed to get American television networks to bend their wheel and suppress a news story because of the embarrassment it would cause the institution. So, yeah, I don't trust them. I don't trust that institution, and I don't trust them to just go away quietly. So, my opinion, that's all. Lucy Highland says, praying for Harry and Meghan and their well being. Here, 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 here. Got to keep doing that. Got to keep doing that, praying for them because it's almost like some. I always call it a protection racket, and that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a protection racket, and those sycophants that surround that institution, scary people. And we have had a massive dose of that type of devotion on a very large scale with the Orange Menace. There has never been so many people feeling so insecure in this country. At least should I say in recent years. I mean, if you go back to Jim Crow and everything, yes, that's a whole nother insecurity. But in recent years, you know, after the civil rights movement and all of the progress we made, it was a big step backwards when that man got in office. So people just could not sleep at night. 4 years of torture. We were tormented for 4 years. 4 years. Let's see. Oh, M. Covington, Harry and Meghan need to sue. Why don't they? Well, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. There's always the question of jurisdiction. And then, of course, there are laws in the United Kingdom that seem to protect the media more than it protects the public. And the lawsuits in the United Kingdom, um, they tend to favor the press, even if you win the case, which is extraordinary to me. Absolutely extraordinary. But that being said, um, Harry has vowed to go as far as he's able to. You know, they say the man with the last word is the man with the deepest pockets. And Harry has deep pockets and he has the determination. And he said himself that he is ideally suited to pursue these lawsuits. So, but you can't sue for all of those things. That would be very confusing. You have to be very strategic by which lawsuits you want to throw at them. But yeah, it is a good question. It is a very good question. Why don't they sue? It's just like when people say, well, why don't they just have a press conference? Timing is everything, and your words can get completely lost if you don't say what needs to be said at the right time. And it's a very frustrating thing, but you have to go with the momentum. If things have momentum, it's amazing how something that has been discussed in the past and didn't really yield any results all of a sudden is is so much heavier. It has so much more weight to it. So yeah, timing is everything. I mean, people for years had complained about Savile, and it fell on deaf ears. I don't know how. I did watch that documentary. I don't recall how they finally realized what a monster he was. But if you don't say it at the right time, if you don't push it at the right time, unfortunately, certain things fall on deaf ears. So, okay, but thank you very much, M. Covington, and thank you so much for being here tonight and being a member. Connie Bomber! Hey, Connie Bomber. Ricola. Okay, let me see here. So, again, the farewell tour continues. I love that poster. Check it out. Get your hands on our Farewell Oz tour merch. That's right. While supplies last, it's the Farewell Oz tour merch. And it doesn't cost too much either. But check it out. They are plastering the town. Now, don't ask me what parts of Australia this is, but they are putting posters up. They're doing those bills. They're posting bills publicly, or billets or bills, whatever they call those things. But yeah, any back alley, abandoned building, bus shelter is subject to being plastered with the farewell tour. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. I am so shocked. I mean, I knew that there would be some kind of pushback, but I had no idea this would happen. This may actually balloon into something very interesting by the time Fred and what do they call them? Fred and Ethel, or Fred and Wilma? No, Fred and something. Gladys. Yeah, by the time Fred and Gladys get there, this could actually snowball into quite the spectacle. And I just want you to know I'm here for it. Look at those, huh? You have a vacant lot, looks like a street lamp, some other vacant building, um, and looks like some other vacant property there. You know how they say post no bills? Well, they are going to town. Have you ever seen? They are going to town. Charles and Godzilla, they are in for a very rude awakening. I hope they go like to a public toilet or something, and they go to the loo, and Camilla goes in the stall and closes the door, and there's a big sign behind the door. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Now, this spot of bother, because I am very bothered by it. The Prince and Princess of Wales posted this on their Twitter today. Baby Loss Awareness Week is such an important moment to support those who have experienced a devastation that is of baby loss, sending love, strength, and hope to everyone affected. Wave of light. Well, you know that did not go unnoticed, right? Hi, TMCD. Let's see. Hypocrites. Your sister in law lost a baby and not a kind word toward her, yet you have decided to use this bandwagon today. Kind of reminds you of the Sarah Everhard, doesn't it? Let's see. Did you show the same care for Meghan when she lost her baby? I'll never forget how you treated your sister in law. Lip gloss is just gloss. Losing a child is a heartbreak that mentally, physically, and emotionally devastating. And the last one here, and there were some that I thought were a little too sensitive to share. This message is so fake, just like everything else about the firm, the institution. It didn't see, I'm sorry, I didn't see compassion for your biracial sister in law when she experienced a pregnancy loss. It's a lot to take in, isn't it? A lot to take in. But, it, no lies detected. No lies detected. Of course, some of the replies to their tweet that I did not share, the language was so much stronger, but someone at Kensington Palace has definitely seen these responses. And I'm sure it wasn't those two lazy people, but someone on staff had to have seen it. And it didn't seem like they were in a hurry to take them down. So, or can you even eliminate something like that from Twitter? I'm not sure. I guess all you can do is block the person, but um, it needed to be said, and it is the truth. Um, I'm sure that most of us have certain feelings about that institution where that particular loss is concerned. And of course, Meghan wrote the article for the New York Times. The losses we share, perhaps the path to healing begins with three simple words. Are you okay? And this was an opinion piece by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. So that happened. That happened. Yes, Beverly, that was, it's on their, well, it's on the Kensington Royal, the Prince and Princess of Wales. They don't call it that is Kensington Royal anymore. They call it the Prince and Princess of Wales. So, well, you can still see Kensington Royal down there, but yeah, this is from Will and Kate. Oh, Connie Balmer, thank you very much for the super sticker and being so incredibly supportive to Royal Sussex. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, you want the Well, there's a paywall for the article. I subscribe to the New York Times. There is a paywall for the article, though. So, yeah, that's the only problem is that there's a paywall. But yeah, I'll put what I have right here. Wait. Oh no, that's the wrong article. I'm sorry, that's the wrong article. Let me try it again. Oh, there it is. Okay, there you go. I have posted it here. And now I need to go over here and do it. Okay, pin message. All right, done. Okay, again, that is the New York Times, The Losses We Share. And that was an opinion piece by the Duchess of Sussex. Okay. Why are you asking me to reach out to Kensington Palace? Are you asking me to reach out to Kensington Palace? Because you know I will. Okay. So, now, why welcoming white spouses doesn't erase Meghan's experience. Let's not pretend that being white doesn't play a massive role in how seamlessly people like Mike Tyndall have been integrated into the royal fold. The press and the public have allowed these individuals to settle in without constant microscope on every move they make. They've been granted privacy, respect, and most importantly, the benefit of the doubt. Now, contrast that with Meghan's experience. Meghan's arrival into the royal family was met with fanfare, yes, but also an undercurrent of hostility. The subtle and often not so subtle racial undertones in the press coverage were impossible to ignore. Yeah. And, I don't know what's in Mike Tyndall's heart. I don't know what kind of person he is. I imagine he's unpleasant to be around if you're not the royal family or if you're not one of his rugby people. I don't know. I shouldn't even speculate about that. But what I will say is that Mike Tyndall seems to have gotten the Lord Snowden treatment. Lord Snowden was a bit of a cad, but yet everybody in the royal family, the Queen, Philip, the Queen Mother, they all seem to be very charmed by Tony, right? That's the stories I recall, is that everybody loved Tony. Tony Armstrong, Anthony Armstrong, everybody loved him. He was just such a lovable person, whereas they seem to crap all over Princess Margaret. Am I getting that right? Where's Hazel? Where's Elaine Parker? Am I getting that right? Am I remembering that correct? That Anthony Armstrong was loved and cherished, and they were just so amused by him. But Margaret was Margaret. Margaret seemed to be threatening to the image of Her Majesty the Queen. Margaret was used as the cautionary tale, just like Harry. Harry has been dubbed the cautionary tale every time they want to teach a life lesson about how you fit into that institution. Inevitably, they have to put Harry in there. They were doing that in the past, and they're still doing it today. That's why I said the other day, when I compared Harry to, or should I say, that they compare Harry and Meghan to Wallace Simpson and, of course, the Duke of Windsor, because they have cast Harry as the cautionary tale. And that is going to be the example for years to come. No matter how rich, no matter how successful, no matter how prosperous and respected the Sussexes are, they are going to spin the story of one of misery and despair, like Meghan lost on the red carpet. She didn't seem to know where she was or what to do. This is a girl who grew up in the industry. She grew up in the industry. She's a quick study and she knows that industry. Trust me when I say this. Meghan knows Hollywood. She knows. Because she was not some big key player in the system does not mean she doesn't know how it operates. It's just like those kids you hear they went to Hollywood high school and so was friends with so and so back in the day. Like what's her name? Maya Rudolph. She went to school with who's that crazy girl? The one that has the lifestyle Jupe or Bloop or whatever it's called. They went to school together. It's a big company town, LA. And when you know, you know. So the idea that she was lost and didn't know Gwyneth Paltrow, thank you very much. What is it? Millionaire? Thank you very much. Gwyneth Paltrow. They went to school together. So they know the business. They know the town. They know the people. We don't know what's in Meghan's Rolodex, but I'm pretty sure Meghan's Rolodex is quite impressive. It's quite impressive. And these are people that she's been connected with for years. The letter writer. People don't forget a handwritten letter. They don't forget a handwritten letter. You can send as many emails and text messages and flying pigeons and um, Camilla Express or I'm sorry, Pony Express. You can send all of that stuff, but it doesn't beat the handwritten letter. So um, they'll spin it however they choose. Doesn't make it true. Here. Meghan is at home. Thank you. Now, Muriel was feeling particularly feisty today. Sophie Winkleman also loves to brag about being welcomed with open arms by the royal family. Funny how Sophie Winkleman never mentioned her mother in law welcomed Meghan Markle with a racist brooch. That family should be stopped, should just stop talking because we have receipts. Damn right we do. We have receipts. And of course, as you guys have probably learned by now, when it comes to keeping receipts, Muriel is a force of nature. So take a look there. The actress who did successfully join the royal family, Peep Show Sophie Winkleman claims she's not had a single negative experience since marrying Lord Frederick Frederick Windsor after Meghan Markle struggled to adjust. Blaming the victim, are we? Blaming the victim. That's what we're doing here. Um, it does not matter. It does not matter how she fit into that. Again, it is almost like a compliment to Meghan in that they were threatened by Meghan's intelligence, by her beauty, her wit, her charm. They were threatened by that. This is why you can go to the worst neighborhood in the world and you say, "Oh, I've been there before, nothing happened." That's because you're not a threat. That's because people know you don't belong there. But if you were someone that was deemed threatening, and not just in the wrong neighborhood, but in the wrong circumstances or the worst circumstances, right? Like when I went to London, I stayed in Brixton, and people were like, "Oh, that's kind of a rough area." I even walked through one of the council housing. I didn't know the difference. I didn't know it was supposed to be a rough area until I was well rested at home. No one said anything to me. It was the middle of the day. I didn't even see anybody. And I couldn't have looked more out of place if I tried. All that you had to do is say good morning or look at me, and I'd be like, "Hey, how you doing?" In that loud, obnoxious American voice. And it would have been a giveaway. But that is what I believe. Most times, nobody's going to bother you because you're not a threat. But when you're a threat to someone, oh, it becomes quite obvious. It becomes quite obvious. That's why Kate Middleton weaponized that lip gloss. It's only because she's so small of a person that she was being so difficult. Plus, she doesn't seem to have a mind of her own, so she was following William's cues. So there were a few things at play, not to mention that she's just not a pleasant person. The one thing that nobody ever asks is, where is Kate's best friend? Where is Kate's girlfriends? Where are her girlfriends? Even the queen had a girlfriend. Where are her girlfriends? She doesn't have one. That's where. She does not have one. I would be impressed to see if she ever has a lady in waiting. She'd probably recruit her sister. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. A threat to that family, absolutely. They don't want to think in person. They Kate was selected because they did not expect any any pushback. That's what they saw in Kate. There would be no pushback. I'm wondering if they had like some dossier or psychological profile that was provided. Oh yeah, she's a keeper. She's a keeper. Okay. Yeah, Kate doesn't have any friends. She really doesn't. She has no friends. As close as she gets to friendship is talking to the other moms when they're out at those occasions. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even look at the rest of this. Did I? Yeah, I did. But yeah, you remember she had those black sheeps that she named Venus and Serena. Very rude. And take a look at that. Look at how she is looking directly into the camera. Her lips are pursed. She knew exactly what she was doing. We should never, ever let them forget that this was Meghan's welcome to the family. Mike Tyndall wasn't welcomed into the family like this. The Winkleman chick, she wasn't. What is it? Wrinkleman, whatever it is. She wasn't welcomed into the family like this. I don't know that anybody was ever welcomed into the family like this. But she only she's not solely to blame for this because she only did what she thought she could get away with. She was so emboldened by the disrespect that was already being whispered about Meghan that she felt that it was okay, that there would be no friend, that there would be no pushback. So yeah, it was all quite deliberate. She's wearing it up nice. Look at it; it's almost like crawling over her shoulder. She's wearing it so high, making sure that it's in line of sight. And she's had other bouts of racism, like when she insulted a table full of African American men at a restaurant in New York. She said they were being too loud or whatever it was and told them to go back to the colonies. Go back to the colonies. Now, that is a very particular thing to say. When a person really wants to go there, she went there. Go back to the colonies. Um, well, anyway, it's the Saxe Coburg Gotha's family. What does it say there? Erased our heritage and replaced it with the gilded vulgarity of tasteless wealth. It wasn't until that the Saxe Coburg showed up that that institution became so over the top. Yeah, there was always a comfortable life for a monarch and their family. But when those Saxe Coburg people got there, it was like the lifestyles of the rich and famous. They really poured exuberance every place they went. They had exuberance for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's see here. There's the Queen Mother um, standing in whatever part of London that was hit. Now, I think that was Buckingham Palace, and the famous line, "I'm glad we got hit, so now I can look the people of the East End in the face." Oh, girl, you giving me gas. Um, yeah. So just this is just a few select images of life in the UK. You still have homelessness, but William wants to make sure that we change the narrative around it. So instead of saying homelessness or homeless or sleeping rough with a black man, we have to find another language for it. Let's see. There's Camilla in front of those blackamoor candelabras and such. And of course, there's Princess Michael of Kent's father, who is a real Nazi. She claims she didn't know, but she knew. She knew. And let's see, that's Harry and Meghan on their way to that Christmas dinner, luncheon, whatever it was, where they were introduced to the Blackamoor brooch. That is so rude, though. So rude. And of course, Meghan couldn't get away with this. No, could you imagine if there was a black man that married into that family? There is no way that they could get away with something like this. This is something that a black man could not get away with. Could you imagine them going? They wouldn't even have to go to the police. The police would come to them. And then, of course, the arrest would be so heavy handed and so brutal. But I looked at that this evening and I was just like, if he was a black man, this could have been a life ending situation. Life ending. I tell you, I worry about what's his name? Um, Yeezy. I worry about that kid. Um, he's playing with fire. He is playing with fire on so many fronts. But yeah, Kanye, I guess he knows what he's doing. But I'm telling you, he is really stepping into it. And if he doesn't understand what people are thinking and feeling, he ain't paying attention. Uh, it was the gaudy Hanoverian King George that started it. Yeah, you're so right. He built the Buckingham House. That no, actually, Buckingham House wasn't so bad before. Buckingham House belonged to the Duke of Buckingham, and it was altered later on. But no, he had that house on Regent Street, right? With the red interior. Some of it is at Buckingham Palace, and some of it is at the Windsor Castle. Well, yeah, you're on the right track, but I believe it was the when he was the regent for George the third or whatever it was. Um, when he was regent, that's when he was spending like crazy. And you're right, it was the Hanoverians that started it. I think they got super wealthy with Victoria. I think it was during the reign of Victoria. That's when they really was socking away money for them. I think after Victoria, they never had to worry about money again. Okay. And of course, how a kilt wearing Prince Philip insulted the king with a curtsy. Well, Philip tried to do a curtsy and it didn't go down well. But enters the buffoon, Mike Tyndall. He does a curtsy and everybody's just, oh, he's so witty. Everybody is so amused by it. Okay, so Meghan Markle, Kate Middleton, double standards, and the fierce arrogance of white supremacy. Now, this is an article that came out March the 20th, 2024. That also has a paywall that you have to get through to read the entire article. But the first part of the article goes, I figured it was only a matter of time before segments of the right wing media here in America and also in Britain would decide to reignite their propaganda outrage machine and target it toward Meghan Markle, better known as the Duchess of Sussex. Those of you who are rapid followers of popular culture may have heard that Meghan has been urged to defend her sister-in-law, Princess Kate, after she found herself at the center of a royal crisis, thanks to an edited family photograph. Yes, you read that correctly. Let me see here. How dare they? AARP member benefits update? How AARP? I'm not some. Am I old enough for this? Are they out of their cotton picking minds sending me stuff? How dare they? AARP. AARP. How dare they? Well, who do they think I am? Some old person? Better ask somebody. How dare they? You see that? You be sitting up there minding your own business, ain't bothering nobody, and then all of a sudden, here they come with their BS. AARP. Yeah, please don't make me regulate. Disturbing my peace. AARP. What kind of sick joke is this? I'm not old enough for that. They act like I look in the mirror and don't even cast a shadow anymore. What am I, some kind of vampire? The undead, the immortal, or whatever. This is how people break their cell phones. This is just how people break their cell phones, because everything in my being said throw it. I had to fight the urge of throwing that phone across the room. How dare they? AARP, messing with my mind. They know I got a birthday coming up. Let me see, your member benefits update. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't belong to this. Also, I didn't get that tote bag that was supposed to come. I did not get my tote bag that was supposed to come with my membership. What did it? They think that when you're a certain age and you sign up for AARP, that they make you an offer you can't remember. I remember I was supposed to get a tote bag. Yeah, where is my tote bag? You're supposed to get a tote bag when you sign up. Now, opinion. Meghan Markle called herself one of the most bullied people in the world last week, and the trolls pounced on it. Now, this is in the Toronto Star, if you care to find that article. Let me see if I have it and I'm able to post it. The Toronto Star. Do I have it? No, I don't think so. I think I just grabbed that and nothing else. Oh, wait. Yes, I do have it. I thought I saved it. Okay, I'm going to put the link at the top of the chat. Okay. So I just need to move that. Yes, that's it right there. All right, so there it is at the top of the chat. Good luck to you. Oh yeah, I guess you don't need a membership for it. Okay. But yeah, so the first paragraph just says, is Meghan Markle the most bullied person in the world? Well, that's certainly how she apparently described herself to a group of tweens last week, and then had her point proven. They proved her point in thousands of comments on social media in reaction. Yes, I would say she's the most bullied person on the planet. Yes, she is. She's being bullied. Okay. Trump belittles auto workers, saying they've just assembled parts out of a box, and says children could do their job. We could have our child do it, he said. So, if you're wondering why I have him looking like he's swimming in a volcano, it's because he has really put his foot in his mouth this time. He's really done it. He said in some nationally syndicated show or something like that, he said that when the cars come from Germany, they're in boxes and that we don't build anything. All we do is put it together and sell it. I would imagine that that is how all cars are made nowadays. Like, for instance, look at the A380, the largest passenger plane in the world. There are so many vendors and so many sources for parts for that plane. They're coming from here, there, and everywhere. It takes a, a team of supplies and such. And what an insult for him to say that. So the UAW is not very happy. As a matter of fact, they are so unhappy, they endorse Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. They endorse Kamala Harris. Yes, that's right. The UAW, the United Auto Workers Union, once a very powerful lobby, they decided to endorse the vice president because of Trump's very, shall we say, short sighted vision about the US car industry. Yep. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Not very smart, was he? Okay. And with that, you guys, guess what? I'm done. I am done. So I'll just go here, back up to the top, and perhaps absorb a few of your comments on the way out. Let me see. Yes, good night. 1 hour. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, Vivian, very painful. Okay, so I'm gonna come on early again tomorrow. At least that's my intention, and we'll see how it goes. Just know our faves are working on something extraordinary as usual, and we will see them in the anointed time, not the appointed time. So, cheers to them and their hard work. Let me see. Uh, Good night, Miss Z. Oh, thank you, Annie Bennett. Oh, you're welcome, Lucy. Thank you for being here. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. And thank you to the Mod Squad for keeping this a safe space. And we'll close the way we started. Because, I just love that music, right? That's right. Once upon a time, there was a handsome virgin who dreamed of seeing a royal wedding. Okay. Let me see. Dr. Dredd. All right. See you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Good night, y'all. Love you and have a pleasant night or good morning.